Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Now this is the first video what I'm doing in my new uni halls accommodation, so yeah, it's quite exciting. But however, the video today is going to be quite a sad one because last night I heard the news that one of my very favourite musicians, like of all time, like sadly passed away. Like the one and only Tom Petty has like sadly died. So yeah, what I will be doing like today is just a little sort of tribute video talking like a bit about like his life and music. So I heard like last night like about it, like whether like there was a bit of like confusion like as to like if like he actually like died like or like was just like in that hospital like in like a critical condition, like whether like this morning like confirmed like sort of like on like BBC News and that he had like sadly passed away like at the age of 66. So I first got into like Tom Petty probably through like the Travelling Wilburys, like because like I was sort of like a big fan like of like the Beatles, George Harrison and like ELO, Jeff Lynne and that, so like I thought that it was like natural like to sort of like get into like Tom Petty's work. So it's works like the first song like I remember of his would have been I Won't Back Down, like because like I saw like the music video to that and like it had Jeff Lynne in it, George Harrison and Ringo, so I thought like he must be like a pretty like good guy like if he's got them like in like his music video. So soon after that like I bought this album, Tom Petty Greatest Hits, like on CD, like whether, and like really loved it, like ended up like with a like complete vinyl collection like of his. Like this is like the only one like I have to show today because I haven't like brought like all like my records with me, like whether like this was one of the ones which I chose to bring with me like when like I moved in like about 5 weeks ago. So a bit about like Tom's life. I mean, like he had a slightly sort of difficult like childhood, like a like abusive like father, and that like he said that like he got into like rock music like as a way like out of like this lifestyle. His first group was called Mudcrutch, and like there's this story like where like they drove like all the way like from Gainesville like in Florida like all the way to LA like in order to get like a record deal, which they eventually did get. However, Mudcrutch really weren't like commercially successful, and like the record label were only really like interested like in like Tom Petty, like however like a compromise was made like where like it would be called like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and like Tom would keep like some of like the musicians like from Mudcrutch and Mike Campbell and keyboardist and Ben Montench. So the Heartbreakers' first album came out in 1976, and like initially it wasn't a hit like in like America, like where like it was embraced like in like the UK, like as like Tom like fitted in like with like the punk scene like off like the time like the new wave and like stuff like what was happening, like whether like over like the next few years like their popularity grew like in like America, peaking with the release of Damn the Torpedoes in 1979, which I think like is one of like the greatest like albums like off like the 70s and like also like off all time as well. It's just a fantastic mix like of like brilliant songwriting, like great so like attitude like as well, and like also just like a beautiful like soundscape like on it as well. However, Tom's career like wasn't without like its like difficulties, like as like in like 1979 like all of like his back catalogue was purchased by MCA, which Tom like didn't like, so like he like fought this out like in like the courts, which like very few musicians like would do. Like he declared like bankruptcy like in order like to get out of like this contract and like get like ownership like of like his own songs again. Similarly, like the follow-up album to like Damn the Torpedoes, which was called Hard Promises, which is another cracking album, like the record company wanted to charge like an extra $1 for that record, like whoever like Petty said no, like I'm not having that, like, and like it was like resisted, like it like stayed like at like the usual price like for like records like at the time. He continued releasing music throughout the 80s, notably forming the Travelling Wilburys alongside George Harrison, Jeff Lynne, Bob Dylan and Roy Orbison, and his 1989 solo record Full Moon Fever would become his most successful record, and like contains some all-time classic tracks there like Free Falling, Running Down the Dream, Won't Back Down and Faces of the Crowd. There's so many great songs like on that record. Another favourite album of mine what he done was Wildflowers, which is a more sort of rootsy, slightly mellower like feel, which I think like really suits like Tom, like his like songwriting like was just like excellent like on like that record. So yeah, like Wildflowers, like another classic album there. And right up to like the present day, like he continued like to make like and like release like excellent music. Like the last Heartbreakers album, Hypnotic Eye, is like one of like their very best for me. And like recently, like he also got like his old band Mudcrutch like back together, like for 2 like very good albums as well. Like again, it just shows like he really cared like about like his like old like friends and that. Like he wanted like them like to like reform like and like get back together, sort of like the high school band. Like it was really something what like very few musicians like would do. So yeah, his death, it has come like as like a bit of like a shock, like because like he was like touring like all through like 2017, like he performed at Hyde Park like in like the UK, like only like in like June, and like I think like the last shows were at the Hollywood Bowl like only like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, like it was like a real like, I mean, like it came like out of the blue, like this sort of thing. Like I would like recommend definitely watching the documentary called Running Down a Dream. Like it's about 4 hours long, but like if like you've got the time, like it details like his life like and like career, like really really brilliant watch, like great like insightful like interviews like with like Petty himself and like also like his bandmates. So yeah, that's pretty much it like for this video. Like just wanted to like pay like tribute like to like the late great Tom Petty. It's a sad day, like I know, but certainly like we are like losing like a lot of like legends like off late. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and like rest in peace Tom Petty.